Hi everyone, this is Cheryl with crafty, and today I'm participating in Sybil's challenge. She is JandSib80 here on YouTube, and she's having her 51st birthday giveaway, and she's having 3 challenges, and one of them is to create a video response showing her face. So this is me. I'm showing my face. I've never done this before, so thought it would be fun. So in this video we were to talk about 5 things about herself, non-craft related, and then a craft related thing about herself. So to start off, I'm going to talk about my 5 things about myself, non-craft related. And the first one is that I am accident prone. I bump into things, I'll be walking across the field and trip. I fall off of things quite often. I was taking down our Halloween decorations and I fell off our porch. Quite horrified. I didn't get hurt luckily, but just horrified. Our neighbor was moving into their house next door, so a lot of people were on the driveway, and I'm not even dressed nicely. I'm in just home clothes, taking down some spider webs, and off I went. So I was really worried when we started having kids that I would fall down while holding them or walk into walls holding them, but God took care of me and they're safe. I didn't ever hurt them, I just continually hurt myself. So that is my first thing. My second thing is that I love blue. I love dressing in blue, I'll decorate in blue, although we didn't have to here. It was really nice. The people who lived here before us, they must love blue too, because there's blue carpet upstairs and blue paint on the walls on the main floor, and it's really nice. We didn't have to decorate, so it was move-in ready as far as we were concerned, as far as I was concerned, and my husband's cute. He likes it enough too, so I don't think blue would be his first choice throughout the main level, but we painted the bedrooms, and so I think that was enough work to do. I also dress the boys in blue, and it's kind of nice. Everyone talks about how typical the boys being dressed in blue, but they're in blue because I like blue, and lucky for me there is an abundance of blue clothes for boys. So a lot of blue. I have blue wherever I can, so that is one thing. Sybil talked about her dog named Snoopy, and then a video response done by a lady named Sharon did as well. Sharon's story was really sad. My Snoopy story is not about a dog. I was a camp counselor as a teenager, and when you're a camp counselor you have to choose a name that the kids are going to call you. They don't call you by your real name, so the name I chose was Snoopy. The kids, I was a camp counselor for many years at many different camps, and I kept Snoopy throughout all of them. So it was one of those kind of funny things to hear 2 stories about Snoopy, so I thought that I would make another Snoopy story. The next thing I'm going to talk about is, I keep looking down, I made a little cheat sheet of things to talk about. I was worried that I would lose track and pause and forget, so this way I don't have to. I can just look down and see what my next point will be. I kind of get nervous with public speaking, and so this is kind of like it. I realize I'm breezing through. My video so far is only 3 minutes long, but oh well, that's just me. I get nervous, so. My next thing is my husband and I have been married for 10 years, and I'm really happy and proud of that. I love him more today than when we got married, and he's a wonderful father and my best friend still. So a funny story from our wedding was that we, at our dance, had our first dance to an Elvis song. We wanted to go with something that would be more classic than trendy, so we chose an Elvis song. I can't remember the title of it right now, and it's bugging me, but our second song was supposed to be a Shania Twain song, and we were going to start dancing together, and then I was going to dance with my dad, and Mike was going to dance with his mom halfway through because her songs kind of are long, and we thought that would be a nice way of incorporating the parents. The wedding, our DJ was somebody my dad found. His co-worker, he's a letter carrier, who was a letter carrier, and his co-worker, son, was a DJ. So I kind of was humming and hawing, but he was really cheap. And that's not always the best way to find a DJ. However, we did. We had our initial meet and greet with him in the beer store parking lot. So right there we should have had red flags, but we were young and it was just another thing to check off. DJ done. So we went along with it. We met him. We did it. So our second song we had on our list to play is From This Moment. And it's a beautiful song. But as we started dancing, he played You're Still the One. And I was horrified. All I could think about is like, well, if he's not still the one, we're in trouble. We've only been married for a couple of hours. So, and I was really worried also because we weren't together for years. Like the song didn't make sense for us. we only had dated for about 6 months, and then we only were engaged for another 6 months after that. So we'd only been together for about a year, so this song didn't make sense, and I was worried that everybody would just be like, why are you playing this? You're crazy. However, nobody said anything to us, and if they thought it, we didn't know it, so it was all good. Everything was beautiful, and once we started talking to my sister and my parents, they're like, oh, that's true, that's funny. And now it's funny, but at the time I was horrified, so I don't know, that's something that I still chuckle over. And then the fifth thing I'm going to talk about is the fact I make wedding cakes, and it's not that I make wedding cakes, that's not really new. I have some videos of cakes that I've posted in the process of making, as well as videos that I've done, like a collage of videos. The interesting thing is about how I got into making wedding cakes. And so I got into them by deciding to make my cousin his wedding cake. I'm a stay-at-home mom, and he got married about 7 years ago. So at the time we only had one little guy, and we had no money. So I was worried about the gift we could afford to buy him wouldn't be very much. And so I really wanted to make something from the heart. So I decided that I offered to make his wedding cake, and he accepted. He liked that idea. And I was horrified. I just, not really horrified, it's not really the right word. I was really nervous. Although I thought, like, well, okay, it's gonna happen, I'm gonna do it. So their flowers were Gerber daisies and yellow roses, so I thought, okay, that's really pretty, I can do a lot with that. So I added some silver ribbon into my ideas in the planning stages, and it turned out really well, really beautifully. I loved it, and it was a big hit too. So it's one of those things, as you approach the wedding, you become scared because it's going to be, I mean, you're gonna deliver a cake, whether it's a hit or a flop. That's their wedding cake. So they didn't have a very big wedding, so it was really nice. If it was going to be a flop, it was one of those things that not everybody in the world would have seen. So did a beautiful wedding, and luckily the cake made it to them, and luckily the cake turned out really well. It was a 4-hour drive to get to their wedding, and it was a really hot September day, so I was really, I don't know, naive, I guess, also inexperienced, I guess is a better word, and I'm looking back really lucky that we didn't arrive with a melted cake. So fondant can just begin to drip, your flowers can sweat, all of it. So lucky for me, we had air conditioning and we used it, and I don't know, everything worked out. So that is how I got into making wedding cakes. So those are my 5 non-crafty things, and my one crafty thing I'm going to talk about is that this year, for New Year's resolution, I don't really make a lot of New Year's resolutions, but this year I am going to try to make more scrapbook layouts. So I really don't make a lot of them. I think I've only made like 3 or 4, and I keep developing all these pictures. I get my pictures developed at Walmart, and I don't ever use them. They sit in the box, and I look at them. I haven't ever put them into photo albums because I keep telling myself I'm going to make scrapbook layouts. So this year I'm going to do that. And I guess another crafty thing is that I love anything with glitter. Just in case that wasn't a crafty thing, that was just more of a rambling, this is my crafty thing maybe. I love anything with glitter. I try to use glitter wherever I can. I don't a whole lot, but I just love it. Everything for me should be glittered. So that's just a little bit about myself. My 5 non-crafty things, I guess I should say, and my crafty things. So anyways, I hope it was interesting, and thank you for watching. Bye!